see how my temperature in the
Right.
oven, that's the oven temperature, is up to like 375. It'll go all the way up.
I saw that when I burnt my, when I first put that tray of coals,
And there wasn't a whole lot.
it pegged it.
Mhm.
It pegged it.
So, you know, when you come in here and you see that both dampers are open, so you bring in a lot of oxygen that's funneling up through the coal tray, and you get that real deep glow on your coals. That's some intense oven temperature that's circulating. The way this grill works, Doc, is just one way where water can get in. He wanted to create it to where it didn't need a chimney. So what he did, you see that little rail right here? You got a rail right here. That's what stops and rests right here.
Right.
So when this lid is closed,
This guy right here.
right there, right,
Rests on that.
exactly. So there's none here in the front, there's none in the back.
Oh.
So when you close this, there's actually about a ½ inch to 3/4 inch gap where the heat and the hot air and the smoke is, when I'm putting the food on, you'll see it, it'll bellow out here, it'll bellow out there, and you get a little bit here. So if you were to have a sight glass on the side of the grill, you could watch what's going on. The grease and the moisture that's dripping off of the meat is smoldering and vaporizing, and it's literally just swirling, pressurizing. It has to be pushed out because it's being pushed out at the lower point. So it's having to be, so it's just sitting there swirling and pushing,
How cool
swirling
is
and
that?
pushing. So that's why when you're doing like chicken with the skin on it, do chicken halves and just put them bone side down. Don't ever flip side down. Don't ever flip them. Because it's cooking from underneath. The oven temperature is gonna, it's like baking a chicken.
Right.
And you don't have to flip it in your oven, you don't have to flip it on here. And so that smoke is just wallowing on top of the food. It's moist air. It's not just smoke. It's water vapor, grease vapor.
Right, and the heat.
And the heat is just swirling on top of that food.
See an ingenious solution to that.
And my dad's not that smart, but he got that one right. And my dad's not that smart, but he got that one right. Because it works. So the first thing I want to do is I want to throw that chicken breast on and kind of
So
sear
you
it.
got some kind of ham?
No,
Okay.
no. Pam, a lot of you watch these grilling shows and they say put Pam on it, keeps it from sticking. Pam, as soon as you spray it on there, it's gonna vaporize.
I wonder about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big advocate of that because what'll happen is when you put like raw meat on it and it sticks to the cooking grid, which is gonna happen most of the time, being that it's porcelain or even if it's stainless steel, you know, they say the sear marks on a steak.
Right.
Well, that's the burn marks or the steaks is literally cooking off of the cooking grid. When you first throw it on there, if you tried to flip it or lift it,
would tear.
it's gonna stick, it's gonna tear. But if you wait and just patient, just kind of check it every once in a while, it'll literally just lift off of that cooking grid. That's where the sear marks come from. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that board on the grill, and you're gonna, you see how I got it up? I got it all the way open, I got it all the way up, because I want to sear it. The oven temperature, we saw the oven temperature pegged out.
Yeah.
I'll show you some.
Chicken.
This is an infrared surface thermometer.
Oh.
I can shoot it at your tile and tell you what temperature. You got 98.6 on that stone. You can shoot on that glass. You got 87.4. But watch this. If I come right here and shoot it on the cooking surface,
You checking the temperature of the coal?
no, not the coals, the actual porcelain metal, the 650 degrees.
Holy moly.
If I was to shoot them coals, it probably will air out because it's too hot. It'll look hot. The coals right now are pushing about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This thing goes up to like 999. You know, so, but that just goes to show you that natural lump charwood, not charcoal, natural lump charwood, in a high setting with a lot of oxygen is going to cook and sear food as good as an infrared gas grill. You held your hand over here, you can't hold it on too long. So that's searing temperature. That's what you want. Chicken breast, pork chop, steak, tuna steak, anything that you want to sear and lock in the juice, a big chunk of meat like that, you want to get it hot. And that's lifting it and opening it. You want a lot of oxygen. You want a lot of that stuff coming up through there. A lot of that stuff coming up through there. And it don't take long, about a minute, two, on each side.
Or to sear it.
And that basically seals the layer of the skin of the, or the layer of the meat, so that water can't escape. Because if we were doing it at a low setting, the water would start to steam out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water in our meat,
sure.
so it would steam out. Well, we want to lock that in, so when you sear it, you're basically sealing it. And you flip it and you seal that side, and then like on a filet mignon, you know, it might be this thick, this big around. When you sear both sides over a good hot fire, it'll shrink a little bit in diameter, but it'll actually lift because you lock in all that moisture. So it does this way, it has to go one way or the other, you know.
Right.
So you don't want to lose track of time. You know, when you're slow cooking and you have it in a low setting and the dampers are closed, like you're doing the chicken, your sausage, blah blah blah. Don't matter. You can go run to the grocery store. You ain't gonna have any flare-ups. Do you have some cooking on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a trick of that. You know.
Right.
So you just kind of sear that. And we're gonna
Cook off the coals all the way out, the open vent, sear 1 to 2 minutes.
If you want to put the diagonal lines, you just quarter turn it. Like you just take it right here and quarter turning it like that. And that'll put that, if you want crisscross lines, right. See, like right there, I just got those lines. I'm gonna just let it sear just enough to give me some little lines on it. Good presentation. See, and what I like to do with my sausage, instead of putting it right over the fire, I put it on the outskirts. Because even when it's up here, I mean, your direct reading heat's right here, so this is actually missing. When the hood's closed, it's cooking with convection. But when it's even at the lowest setting, it's still going to be a little bit softer temperature on the outside. So watch this. Grease, whether it's coming from the food or from oil or whatever, has a certain flash point. And say we're cooking chicken with the skin on it, that fat starts to render down and slowly dripping on it.
Right.
With the dampers closed and the hood closed, it's not enough oxygen to sustain an active fire. It'll just smolder. So this is what will happen. Okay, you got a fire, and when you close your lid, count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you see the smoke coming out harder now? The fire just went out. At first, whenever it was kind of coming out, that was the heat pushing it out. But when you got that much smoke coming out, that means that the fire just went out. So you're never going to have a grease fire, if you will. Now, if I open that lid and I reintroduce oxygen down to the coals, it may kick back up, which it probably will. But as soon as I close that lid, count to 10. Boom. I move the chicken from directly over the fire. Now
The periphery.
Now I'm off to the side.
Yeah.
Now if I was doing just chicken, instead of maybe doing that, I would just lower my fire marks. But I'm not done because I want to cook my steaks and I want my steaks to sear. So that's just you and Miss Sherry. That you can do just to one side. See, now I can take my chicken, I can put it over here because there's no direct fire. All my fires to this side.
But the barbecue is very good.
But you see this chicken, how it's just real plump?
Yeah.
Now that we've seared it,
I'm
it's
seeing
actually
that.
swelling. It's swelling up. Wait till we cut in it. The thing about chicken, let me finish what I was telling you about the chefs that I've talked to. They said that in the past, pork was considered like chicken, you know, because it was the way they raised the pork, that the USDA said it has to be well done. And that's it. I mean, just like chicken has to be a certain internal temperature, 165, 170. Anything above that's good, but that's done. That's where it kills all the parasites. Pork was the same way. Well, over the years, they've gotten so regulated and how they maintain cleanlier conditions and this and that, that the pork meat has less harmful parasites and bacteria, to where you can actually order in a restaurant even, or even in your backyard, you can order it rare, medium, well. Now some people are like, piss on that, I'm still doing it well. I ain't taking a chance, you know, like oysters or whatever. I guess if your immune system's been weakened, you probably don't want to take the chance. But I like my pork to where it's, you know, it's not pink, but I don't like it well done like a hockey puck. I can't stand tough dry meat.
It's like chewing on jerky.
Beef jerky. I'm just gonna. One of the kind of more trendy things that people are using now in their rubs is coffee bean, ground coffee.
Really?
Yeah, and it's actually really good. Yeah. So if you ever like out on vacation in Southern California in this little boutique thing and you see grilling section rubs and you see that it includes coffee, buy it. You'll probably enjoy it. Or
So
beef.
it's just a coffee bean that's been ground up?
Yeah, and if you have one of those little espresso coffee bean grinders, you could probably make your own. I did that. I don't know if you know Tom Cox with golfballs.com. He's about my age. He's one of the owners. I gave him a bottle to try, and he loved it. The next time I see him, I'm like, it's been a while. And I said, Tom, you should be out of that. You need some more? He said, actually, no. He said, I just take your butt rub, and I got my little grinder, and I make my own now. I'm like, cut me out, bro.
Cutting out the middle of that.
But that's what's great about grilling is that you can try different things. Like Doc said, you do a lot of your own growing of your own herbs. I mean, that's fantastic. You can, you know, kind of experiment and put a little bit more rosemary and, you know, a little bit of oregano and onion powder and garlic powder and kind of put it in a little food processor and label it and measure it and just kind of have fun with it. And you'll find one that, like for fish, I love dill. I take butt rub, and McCormick has this Greek seasoning blend, and it's got a lot of oregano, but it's got a lot of the stuff I don't even ever heard of. And I put that in a bowl, equal portions of butt rub, the Greek seasoning blend, and I put a little bit of extra dill. It's got a lot of dill in it, but I put more fresh dill, and I chop it all up, and I mix that in a bowl, and I coat we love sea bass and freshwater bass. Doc was saying you'll like salmon. Use the same blend of this rub. You oil it down with olive oil on both sides, or grapeseed oil, whatever, and then put a lot of this stuff on it on both sides. And on a salmon, you cook it on a cedar plank. You ever seen that in a restaurant?
Actually, I've got one.
You got one?
I've never used it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna put it
I've had
to
it
use.
too.
Before I leave, I'm gonna explain exactly how to use it. And I'm not a big salmon. My wife absolutely adores salmon. That's probably her second most favorite fish besides sea bass. But when you grill salmon